YouTube this morning. Happy to have you with us. Happy to have you join in our celebration here. As we begin another new year, there are many resolutions that all of us make. Certainly many of the proverbial resolutions of losing a little more weight, doing a little more exercise, maybe starting a new adventure. But what I'd like to do today is to invite you to something beyond simply the everyday things of losing weight and exercising more. What I'm inviting you to is something much more than that. What I'd like to invite you to do is to consciously build your intention, of bringing actions of compassion and kindness to the many people with whom we share our lives, and especially to hold these actions of compassion and kindness for the next 6 months, to consciously bring them forth. Actually, in a sense, maybe I'm asking you to do more than that. What I'm really asking you to do is, if you would take your rightful place of being a co-creator of the universe. If you would just step up and take your rightful place as being a co-creator of the universe. Let me try to explain that and what I want to share with you in our monthly teaching, namely the new you in 2019. As many of you probably know, the entire membership of Now Creations, we have about 300 of us, are invited to intentionally maintain acts of compassion and kindness, certainly in the world that is in need of kindness and compassion, but also to maintain those acts of kindness and compassion with an understanding of oneness. Whenever we are involved in such actions or such activities, it's very easy in a sense to say, what should I do? Or let me look for opportunities to be able to do things. What I want to suggest to you, however, is that before we do anything else, we always need to start with ourself, to know the I, the self, that is really bringing these things forward. So what I want to suggest to you this morning are 3 understandings of yourself. And as you seem to understand yourself a little bit more, that you would then be able to bring forth acts of compassion and kindness very easily. The more you know yourself, the more you are in that energy, the more you will be gracious and kind to everyone else. So let's begin. Let me suggest that the first one is really the most important one. It's pretty much in a sense presented in the words of Jesus when he said, when you pray, pray that God's kingdom come, that God's will be done on the earth as it is in heaven. So let me just say that again. When he was telling his disciples, well, when you pray, kind of pray in this way, that God's kingdom would come, that God's will would be done here on the earth as it is in heaven. Let me simply begin by saying that more than anything else, I believe that this is our cosmic responsibility. We're sitting here right now. This is our cosmic responsibility, namely to bring heaven to earth. That what we are here to do is to show the kingdom of God active and alive in each one of us, as us. We are not here to escape the world. We're not here trying to run away from the world. But it all starts with the basic notion that you realize, and that I realize, that each one of us is here to bring that kingdom of God into manifestation. It's so important to have that intention primarily in our mind, that we are here to bring that energy to bear in the material realms. Our families and friends need this. Our workplaces need this. Our social organizations need this. It's not just people in third world countries that need this. The people around us are the people who need this. What I'm simply suggesting to you is that you are perfectly equipped. You are perfectly equipped to bring heaven to earth. And let me just suggest in these 3 ways. The first one, you have not left your source. Sitting here right now, that source energy is moving through you. You probably get, in a sense, that little energetic twist right now. You just feel that energy that's moving through you. You know for certain, you know unequivocally, that the God energy, of which you are an extension, is moving through you right now at this particular time. It's just such a wonderful thing to know that I am an emissary of that larger universal energy. The second thing I would suggest to you is that it's not just that you're an emissary of that energy, but wouldn't you say now that you are aligned in that energy? You're not just sitting here simply as an alienated personality, but you're sitting here now in alignment. You know that that energy is more and more who you are. You know that you are it. You are ascending. You are evolving. There's no need for us to play dumb. Each one of us knows that we are now in this aligned energy and that we are stepping up. And the last thing I would just want to suggest to you is that it's not just that you're an extension of the God energy, and it's not just that you're aligned, but that you have a heart that is filled with love. You have a heart that is filled with love. You can't do unloving things anymore. It's just not in you anymore. And you want to bring forth this love. This love is the genuine aspect of who you are. And to truly feel this love within yourself, this is really, in a sense, what we're really here to do. So I just want to suggest to you, more than anything else, that because your heart is filled with love, that you will be able to truly bridge heaven to earth. It's not just that you've grown in your stature, but it's who you are now. And you have this wonderful, wonderful presence within you to be able to act accordingly. You know who you are, you know what you're doing, and it's our joy to be able to do it. The second thing I would like to suggest to you is very important as well. The second thing, in a sense, proceeds from the first one. As you realize that your purpose is to bring heaven to earth, what is very important for us to understand is that it's not just our cosmic responsibility to do so, but it is also our evolutionary pathway forward. Let me just say it again. It's not just that we have the responsibility as extensions of God to bring that presence here, but it's also our pathway forward. It's the evolution of our life forward. I think we can say pretty clearly that each one of us has moved beyond so many of the dramas of our life. We've learned to put a lot of those things, in a sense, aside. You have become a new you. You're neither younger nor older, you're newer. As Barbara Marx Hubbard would say, there's a new you. You have this energy within you. It is the way that you want to go forward. And what I would just want to suggest to you is that this presence within you is the way that you will move forward. Remember that old Prego commercial? It's in there, it's in there. Just realistically, it's in here. It's in here. It's our way. It's our way of moving forward. You have opened your heart. You have opened your heart, and you are nourishing this energy not only within yourself, but also for and with others. It's the most wonderful thing in life to be able to get over the situation of just being a personality that floats their own boat, and much more moving into that sense of a presence within you that is the way you want to go forward. And you're going to go forward this way whether anyone else goes with you or not, because it's your way of going forward. Not only have you accepted that cosmic responsibility, but you see it as a way that you want to move forward. I just want to suggest to you that, well, you're godlike. You're godlike. You are like God. You are spirit-like. You are like that spirit. It's not just that you sit here not separated from the source, but now you recognize that it's, yes, this is the way that I'm going to go forward. This is my evolutionary pathway. And I want to so encourage all of us, especially because regardless what other people do, we see this as our movement forward. We see this as a way that we will live. There's a third thing that I would like to share with you today. The third thing that's very important is the understanding that, well, every one of us is a part of a collective. We go forth as part of humanity. We don't see ourselves as separated individuals, but we see ourselves truly as part of that larger human condition. Probably one of the most important things for each one of us, I think more than anything else, is that I feel that you and I will offer a new option to people. That we will be able to offer them an example of how they might be able to show up in the world. We're very clear that no one can make anyone else do what they don't want to do. But we're also clear that oftentimes we can show an example, that we provide assistance to others by the way that we conduct our own selves. And again, I just want to keep on encouraging you. It's very important for us to understand that families, organizations, people around us need us. But the neat thing is, it's not just my family, it's not just my organization, but more and more we're just seeing ourselves as a collective. And we see everyone inclusively rather than exclusively. And our ability to be with people in the collective, to try to assist them in their growth, is just one of the most beautiful things we're able to do in life. And I hope you just feel that more and more. You're part of a universal energy, and that universal energy is just such an important thing for us to be able to develop. Let me also add just a couple of things though. Let me suggest too how important it is that when we come together, we support each other. It's such an important thing not to try to do these things just by yourself, but to be able to grow in the awareness with each other. It's such an important thing for us to support and encourage each other, because many times, outside of circles such as these things are not discussed. If anything, it's the same old, and you just resort back then doing to the same old stuff. Such an important thing for us to realize the importance of gatherings such as these. It's very important for us to say to each other, we're very important to each other. We are very important to each other. We believe that we are the pathway forward, and we are accepting our basic responsibility to bring heaven to earth. I would also maybe want to suggest a couple of other things. The first of those two last things is that we've changed. I know I have. I suspect you have. We've all changed. We've changed. We're just not who we thought we once were. We're just a little bigger. And perhaps the nicest part of the change is that it's just a foretaste of what is to come. Your life is not going to have a cloud over it anymore. Your life is going to be better because you're going to be better. And that spirit within you is now emerging just more and more and more. So you might as well get used to it. Your life is just going to get better and better because the presence within you is expanding, and it's going to get better and better and better. And as you expand your soul, you begin to understand that this is the way forward, not just for me, but it's the opportunity for everyone. In my conclusion today, I'm going to repeat a couple of things, but then I'm going to add a couple of things. In conclusion, let me just suggest that the acts of kindness and compassion, our daily activities of being aware, I truly believe that it is our cosmic responsibility. It's what we're doing here. We're bringing heaven to earth in all of the ways we can possibly do it. The good news about that is that it's also our evolutionary path forward. We get it. We understand that not only are we doing that, but, well, that's the way we go forward. That's the way you move forward. And lastly, particularly, that we're learning to do it with everyone else, even with those who seem to be unaware. So I want to add now two other things. The first one, when you are 100% for yourself, you will be 100% for others. When you are 100% for the energy that is within you, you will be 100% for others. Until then, don't fool yourself. The single greatest purpose of life, the second point I would add, is to love and cherish yourself. For in that process, you will love and cherish others. At the end of your life, the only question that any judgment could ever bring to you is, how much have you loved? How much have you been what you know yourself to be? With that in mind, let me now bring you to our meditation. I welcome you to our meditation today. Let us now begin the meditation by simply taking a moment to set the intention. Acts of kindness and compassion, where they come from, what they mean. Fully now dedicate yourself to this meditation. Let us now begin the meditation by simply being attentive to our breath. Just taking a moment with a few nice, easy breaths, our natural rhythm, nothing forced, just the in and the out. Please begin. Now what I ask you to do, if you just take your hand and place it over your heart chakra, over your lungs. And just as you place your hand over your heart, if you would just feel the subtle movement of your lungs, filling up when they inflate, exhaling as they deflate. Just feel the movement your biological movement of the breath coming into you and out of you. Just feel the rhythm. You may put your hand back on your lap. And I'm going to ask you to notice something. Would you first begin by simply noticing how much calmer you feel? Just in 2 or 3 minutes. A sense of calmness, a sense of peace. Just notice that. But would you also notice that this calmness has a presence with it? This presence is you. This is the part of you that has never left its source. It's your presence within. This is your true self. And then, when you act from this self, and not your external personality self, well, that's how you bring heaven to earth. It's not rocket science, but it does take attention. It takes remembering. We remember. Would you fall in love with the self that you are? Would you fall in love with yourself? Because that's where we are one. This is the precious energy that we want to bring to our families. Our kids and grandkids. I want to bring it to our friends. Happy to bring it into our workplaces and in our social organizations. This is the new option that we provide. It's a new way. And this is our way forward. we're happy. We're happy to bring heaven to earth because, well, that's what we're meant to do. And we know how. And we are assisting each other to do so. Please remember, when you are 100% loving the self that you are extending this love in the very beauty in which you have received it. In this spirit, let me now invite you to join Maureen in Songs 20 and 16 in your booklet. Peace is flowing like a river, and we are blessings to the world.
Peace is
Flowing like a river, flowing out of you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free. Love is flowing like a river, flowing out of you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free. Joy is flowing like a river, flowing out of you and me, flowing out into the desert, setting all the captives free. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of Spirit on earth, and all you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of Spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. It is such a joy to be a blessing to the world in all of the wonderful creative ways that we're able to do it. How blessed we are, how happy we are to be blessed, and especially how beautiful it is to share it with others. The joy of oneness fully expressed. Namaste.